Hey guys, I am here today in my comfy clothes, actually sitting on a heating pad because my sciatica nerve pain was really bad today. So sitting on a heating pad definitely helps with just relaxing that muscle. But I wanted to have a chat with you guys about the kind of practices I put into place for myself to help me stay positive about my body during my pregnancy. Because as anybody who has ever been pregnant knows, pregnancy can be very challenging. But I think that if we learn to embrace the changes our body goes through with self-love and gratitude, and we definitely try to maintain a positive mindset, pregnancy can be a beautiful thing. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Pregnancy has been rough for me. My first trimester was so hard, even kind of going into like the first half of my second trimester. Like, I was sick to my stomach. I wasn't eating anything. I was losing a lot of weight. I just felt run down. I was so upset because I just wasn't feeling like myself. I kept saying to my husband, I'm like, I just want to enjoy this pregnancy, but I just feel so miserable. Like, when am I going to get over this, like, this bump in the road and feel good about myself? And everybody says when you get into your second trimester, like, you're going to feel so much better. And I wasn't. And I was in such, like, a negative headspace that I had to step back and say, this is not working for me. What can I do for myself to change this mindset? And I realized too that last year in 2024, if I didn't go on the journey of, changing my relationship with my body and going through my journey of, body positivity, I think today, with just how my body has changed so much during pregnancy and, how my stomach looks and everything, I think I would have a different mindset than I actually do. Now, again, I'm not going to lie to you. I've had moments where I've had rough days when I've looked in the mirror and I felt certain ways. And my husband has been such a support system to say, you're growing a human. You are growing a life. Your body's supposed to go through changes. This is what you're supposed to look like. Your body's doing exactly what it should be, and you should feel really good about that. And I just realized within the last few months, I just want to change the way I'm going about this. So I put some of these practices in for myself that I want to share with you guys, just in case you're having a rough pregnancy and you're having, a rough time with your body changing, that maybe some of these will help for you. And truly, if you have been here for a while, you would have seen the process of last year going through, that body positivity journey. And if you were someone who's new here, I do recommend going over and watching that series, because I'm 100% serious that if I did not go through that journey last year, where I'm at right now would be a lot tougher for me. Because for decades, and for a decade probably, I struggled with how my body looked. I struggled with gaining weight. I was on yo-yo diets. I was, going from workout plan to workout plan, trying to find something that's going to work for me. And I'm only going to be happy if I'm a perfect size or perfect weight. And going into last year, I just realized I'm never going to be happy with myself. And I can't truly dedicate a journey to losing weight if I can't fix this relationship with how I see my body. So going on that journey was so special for me, and just all the work I put in last year, I truly believe has helped me, going into this pregnancy, to see my body in a different light. Because I know that if I didn't go on that journey, I would have such a negative mindset. I would be so upset about my body changing. I would be going through this roller coaster ride of all these different emotions, which I've definitely gone on the emotional roller coaster ride just being pregnant. Pregnancy is just crazy, but I know that I have a better mindset right now than I would have had just because I went on that journey. So I really recommend going over and watching that because it has truly helped me so far going into this pregnancy. But let's start talking about what I've been doing to kind of help myself and, keep myself motivated and keep that positive mindset going. And the first thing I've really done is just practice self-compassion, because I had to remind myself that my body is doing something incredible. It's growing and nurturing life. Instead of focusing on what's changing, I decided to appreciate what my body is achieving. Your body goes through so many changes during pregnancy, and I think for me it was when my belly started kind of getting bigger that I just had to realize, like, this is what pregnancy is. Your belly grows. You're supposed to look this way. And instead of being negative about that and being like, oh my gosh, all this work I did last year and now look at my body and everything that went into that, I just decided that I'm going to be so happy that my body is doing what it should do to support this life, and how incredible it is that I get to be pregnant with a little human that I get to give birth to and that I get to raise. Like, pregnancy is such an incredible thing. And just being able to appreciate that my body is allowing me to do that has helped me, with that self-compassion so much, because you have to be patient with yourself and you have to show yourself that love to know that your body is doing incredible things and it's meant to change the way it does, and that's just the way it is. And I think for me that was just a big thing, is just being patient with myself and loving myself and knowing that, my body is doing what it should, and that is so incredible and amazing. The second thing I've definitely been doing is wearing clothes that make me feel good. Investing in comfortable, flattering maternity clothes that make me feel confident. Clothes that fit well, boost your mood and self-image. I think for me, going into last year, that was one of my biggest things was, buying clothes in the bigger sizes so I felt comfortable in them, because I knew that if I bought something that was too tight, I would be insecure. So going into pregnancy, I was like, I'm buying comfortable maternity clothes, stuff that is stretchy, that'll stretch with my bump, and that'll make me feel so good. And so far, I've found clothes that are just so cute, and I'm still able to wear some of my sweatshirts and all that from before I was pregnant. So it's kind of like knowing, like, I can still feel good in my old clothes, but I can still feel good in new clothes. And I know going into spring and summer, I have in my, it's not in my cart, but it's on my list on Amazon, that I have clothes and shirts and stuff that I'm definitely going to wear that are like so cute. And I know I'm just going to feel so confident in. And I think that's like the biggest thing for me. And again, I did a video during my journey last year about sizing, because we put too much of an emphasis on what sizing is. Like, we make sizing mean something that it shouldn't. And if you are interested and you struggle with the sizing that you're in, please go over and watch that video, and I will link it for you, because sizing doesn't matter. Like, I used to make it mean something when I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm in, instead of being in smalls or medium, now I'm in larges. And for jeans, oh my gosh, now in shorts and jeans, like I'm in 16 or 18, like I've gained so much weight. And I'm like, nah, skirt. That's not what that means. That is just the size I need to be in to feel comfortable while I'm wearing the outfit. If I buy something that's too small and it's stuck to my skin and too tight, I'm gonna feel uncomfortable. So I have to buy the bigger sizes to feel comfortable in my own skin. That's what I'm gonna do. I seriously had a whole mindset shift with that, and since doing that, when I buy clothes in bigger sizes, I don't have a second thought. I'm like, you know what, that's what I have to buy to feel comfortable. That's what I'm gonna buy, and I'm gonna feel amazing in the clothes that I am wearing. So truly, if you struggle with that, go over and watch that video, because to have that mindset shift is just so powerful. And to know that the sizing of things don't really matter. It's more about how you feel in the clothes itself and in the outfit that truly matters. Like, be comfortable in being comfortable in your clothes rather than being miserable and self-conscious. That's what matters. Like, I would rather be in bigger sizes and being something flowy and know that I feel confident and beautiful than rather be in something that I'm going to be so self-conscious about and literally be thinking about all day long. That's just definitely not for me. One of the biggest things that I had to definitely learn going into this is to avoid comparison. Everybody who goes through pregnancy, it's going to be different for them. And it's trying not to compare yourself to others, like comparing yourself to family members or to comparing yourself to social media. Social media is a big one. If you go on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, even TikTok, and you type in like 20-week pregnancy belly, you're going to see so many different like things for that. You're going to see so many people's pregnant bellies that are different sizes and different, like, it's different for everybody. But I think comparison wise, you could be looking through those and you're like, man, why doesn't my stomach look like that? Or why am I not growing the way like I should be growing? And you get in your own head, and then it makes you feel bad about yourself. Trust me, I went through that when I went through changing my relationship with my body, because I would look at people on the internet and I'm like, wow, like if I exercise like them, I could look like them. And then I would start exercising like that or eating like that. I'm like, but my body is not doing what they're doing. I don't look like them. Stop. Pregnancy is a unique journey for you. Your journey through pregnancy is going to look different than somebody else's, and that's just how it's meant to be. We are not all supposed to look the same. Our stomach's not supposed to look the same. Our baby's not growing the same. Just know that you are where you should be unless your doctor says otherwise. I just recently, yesterday, went to the doctor, and we had a conversation just about how I'm feeling and just all the stuff going into it, and she answered all the questions I had. Got to listen to the baby's heartbeat, which is just so heartwarming for me when we get to do that. But then she measured my belly, and I think it was like they do it in centimeters, so I'm at like 24 centimeters for being at like 23 weeks, and she said, perfect, you're exactly where you should be. And that just reassured me that I am exactly where I should be in my pregnancy. My belly is exactly where it should be. The baby's growing exactly the way the baby should be. And that's all that matters to me. I mean, comparison is easy to do, but I think you just need to get in your mind that everybody's body is different. You're going to have different symptoms. Your belly's going to bumps, and your bump is going to start showing. Some people start earlier. Some people don't start showing till the third trimester. Even feeling the baby kick, some people don't feel the baby kick until later almost in their third trimester. I have actually started feeling our baby kick. Everybody is different. Just know that if your doctor says you're doing good and you are where you should be, that's where you should be, and that's what you should be focusing on during your pregnancy. Comparison is easy to do, but try to avoid to do that, because that can just make you feel crappy about yourself and crappy about your pregnancy. And with all the emotions and with your body change and everything you're going through pregnancy, that's just something you don't need to add onto your list. Something I also have been focusing on is what my body can do. You know, shifting my perspective from appearance to function has been so enlightening to me and made me feel so much good, because I'm celebrating my strength, my endurance, and the amazing ability to grow a baby. One of the things for me is what I do for work. I work in a warehouse where we print on bottles and we put bottles into boxes and then we put them on a pallet. And I know that for me, in the beginning, I could bend down and be perfectly fine and move around and everything felt great, but I knew that the bigger I got, the bigger my belly got, I would just have to adjust. And I know my limits. Like, I know how much I can lift. I know how far I can bend over. I know how to position myself in a squat. My legs have to kind of be out a little bit further to bend over. Like, I know what I need to do to support me and the baby. And I also, know when my sciatica acts up and I have to sit down at work, that's perfectly okay. Just know your limits, know your strengths, and overall just know that you're growing a baby. So things are going to change. You might not be as strong as you used to be. You might not have as much endurance, but that's okay, because that's all a part of pregnancy. Like I said, for me, just knowing my limits and knowing that at some point I might not be able to do that is perfectly fine. And then talking to my work about that, saying, right now I'm doing okay, but at some point I might have to shift what I'm doing, and just say, I'm letting you know that. And like, my work has been so good with they're like, just do whatever you can do. Even talking with my doctor, my physical therapist, like, they've reminded me, listen to your body, do what you need to do. If you feel like you can't lift something or can't bend over, then just don't do that, and let your work know and go forward from there. Like, I think we have to realize that people are going to be more supportive than we think in our mind they're going to be. And everybody around me has been so great and so supportive about, like, do what you need to do. Kind of like today, I know that I had to shift my schedule. Like, recently, within the last few months, I've shifted my schedule to know, like, with my sciatica pain, I can only work 6 hours, and then after that I am in a lot of pain. So like today, I've been trying to work a half hour later, but I know that at 12:30 I'm done. My body's done, and that's perfectly okay. Again, I've talked with my work about it. We're all on the same page. So I just, I come home, I ice that spot, or I sit on a heating pad, and I take care of myself. Everything is about listening to what your body needs when it needs it, and just knowing that doesn't mean anything. Your body's going through what it needs to go through. It's making the changes it needs to make the change, and it's alerting you when it needs to alert you, and you just need to listen to it. And I know that for me, that has just been a big focus, is focusing on what my body can do and what I can't do, and knowing that that's perfectly okay. The next thing I really love is that I've surrounded myself with positivity. Either if it's with my husband, my sister, my sister-in-law, my husband's parents, my parents, having a support system that, is there for me, and spending time with people who uplift me has been so nice. And I think there are times where we can get really down on ourselves and feel really just like crappy overall about pregnancy, and having people that are like, how are you doing? If you need to talk about something, like, let me know. Like, my sister and my stepsister have been amazing because they both have been pregnant before. And being able to just shoot them a text and be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, or this is what I'm going through, and for them to be like, it's okay, this is normal, or this is what I recommend you doing, has been so good for me. Or even the other day, I was video chatting my mom, and she just was like, oh my gosh, look how big you're getting, and look at your belly. And even my husband's mother said that as well. The last time I saw her, she was just so excited about, like, oh, look how big you're getting, and you're glowing, and you look so good. And just being surrounded by that just makes you feel so much better about yourself, and so much better about your pregnancy. So if you find yourself surrounded by people who are being negative about your weight or your body image, just kind of try to avoid those people. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who make you feel good about yourself, who are like there for you and positive, because that's going to really help your mindset and shift from feeling crappy about yourself to feeling good about yourself. And I think that's what matters. We don't want to go through pregnancy feeling the way we feel already, being emotional and having a hard time, than to somebody else giving us a hard time. So if somebody is giving you a hard time, just kind of distance yourself from that person. And if they question why you're not talking to them so much about your pregnancy, or not reaching out, or maybe not hanging out, maybe just let them know, like, hey, I'm having a hard time as it is. And when you make those comments about my body, or, about my weight, it makes me feel really crappy. So I would love to still hang out with you and see you and chat with you, but if we continue to have those conversations, then I kind of just need to distance myself to feel better. And some people will understand and some people won't. And then sometimes people understand and say, oh, I didn't know I was doing that. Let me change my approach and I won't do that anymore. You just kind of have to feel it out and go with what makes you feel good and continue to do that. Something else that I started doing again, because I used to do it all the time, I think even while I was doing my journey last year, I would write on Post-it notes and then I would post them on my mirrors, my mirror upstairs, downstairs, and now I do it on my full-length mirror because I'm like looking at my stomach and my body now just to see the changes. I put Post-it notes that have little affirmations on it. So the one that I have downstairs, I believe, is the one that says, I am beautiful and glowing. And then I have one upstairs that says, my body is strong and capable. And then the one in my bedroom for my full-length mirror says, every change is a sign of my body, of my baby growing healthy. Because going to the bathroom, as many times as you go to the bathroom while pregnant, and even like just going in to do my hair or brush my teeth at night, when I look at that Post-it note, it reminds me to stay positive during my pregnancy, but it also reminds me of what my body is going through and what it's meant to go through and how I should feel about myself. Like, seriously, affirmations is just so amazing. Even if you put Post-it notes by your door, put it in your car, put one on the back of your phone. If you can see it, it's going to remind you and you're going to have that moment to say it to yourself, and then it's going to shift that mindset. It's going to make you feel good, because if you're having a rough moment or for me, if I'm having a rough moment and then I go in the bathroom and I read that, it reminds me of the journey I'm on and how grateful I am to be able to grow a baby and the changes my bodies are going through, and I should just feel good about that. Or if I'm feeling negative about my body, putting a bra on with my underwear and looking in that full-length mirror and reading that Post-it note that says, every change is a sign of my baby growing healthy, reminds me of how grateful I should be. So even if you're not pregnant and you want to do that, seriously, it was such a uplifting thing last year going through how I felt about my body, and then it's just been such an uplifting thing for me during my pregnancy that I just love affirmations so much, and they're just so helpful. And if you haven't tried it yet, seriously give it a try, because it might help you in ways that you never realized it could help you. Something that I haven't necessarily been able to do, just because with the pain with my sciatica and stuff, is staying active in ways you enjoy. I would love to go on walks and everything, but I know that I can only walk so much until the pain gets bad. So I have definitely been, doing the exercises that my physical therapist gives me and everything. And I wish that I could do more stuff. Like, I walk at work, I lift boxes, I am staying active in my own way. And I wish there was more I could do. I just know that I can't do stuff with the pain that I'm having. And I'm trying to I'm going to physical therapy, trying to figure that out. But if you're not dealing with any type of sciatica pain and stuff like that, stay active. Being active is just going to help you overall, mentally and physically overall. And I think, walking, doing prenatal yoga, swimming, whatever you enjoy to do that in a way that your doctor approves, so you don't overdo it or put the baby at risk. Some people weight lift through their whole pregnancy, because they did it before, they checked with their doctor, they can still do it. So whatever exercises you were doing before that are like approved by your doctor to do while you're pregnant, continue to do that, because staying active is going to make you feel strong, and then it's going to make you connect with your body in a way that you might not have been able to connect with your body, going into pregnancy. So truly, like, do what you enjoy, as long as like it's okayed by your doctor. I think working out is great. Like, I know before I got pregnant, I loved working out just for my mental health. It was a time to just like really connect with my body and feel strong, and I wasn't thinking about anything, and just like for my mental health, it was really good just to have a moment to like focus on something and not my mind just like keep going and going and going. Like, it was really nice, and I got to the point where I was just doing workouts I enjoyed. I would find stuff on YouTube. I would do dance workouts, and just like I was trying different things, and then when I found stuff I liked, I continued to do that. And I just liked I enjoyed just moving my body to move my body. Like, it wasn't for weight loss, it wasn't for, anything other than just the joy of moving my body and feeling good in my own skin. So if you find that working out makes you feel good during your pregnancy, absolutely do that. I swear that once I am able to not be in pain, I will definitely start like doing me and my husband used to go, well, now that it's winter we don't, but we used to go on walks, and after work, like evening walks, and it always felt so good. And we would get like 1 to 2 to 3 miles in, and it felt good to walk, just be in nature, talk to each other, and like let my mind just like be in the moment, and not be stressing about stuff. It was like such a stress reliever, and I kind of miss that. I even would do that downstairs, as I would turn on some music or a YouTube video, or even like a show, an episode or something, and I would just walk and I would focus on that, and I would just feel overall good. So I do miss it, but I know right now what my body can do and the limits of it. So I know that once our baby is born, I do want to start doing those walks again and feel, start exercising and feel good about myself when I'm approved to do that. But if exercise is something that is going to help you, please do whatever you enjoy and whatever is going to make you feel good during your pregnancy, because that's awesome and that's all that matters. Something else I've really been focusing on is nourishing my body. So eating well and staying hydrated to help me feel my best. Thinking about food as fuel for both me and the baby. I have definitely been eating a lot healthier, eating protein, drinking a lot of water, because you have to drink a lot of water while you're pregnant, but just being able to kind of focus on my meals and everything as fuel for me and the baby has really been a great mindset shift. Now I do eat not so good things like, junk food or fast food or ice cream or candy, and that's perfectly okay, but almost like 80% of the time I'm really eating stuff that is really good, or like I'm focusing on kind of what I'm eating and how it makes me feel and how it fuels my body overall, and just being able to do that has felt really good. And I've definitely been fixated on avocado toast and making breakfast sandwiches, and there's certain things that like I definitely crave over other things that it's been really funny. But I think because I had kind of started shifting my relationship with food again last year, going through my body positivity journey, that was another step, is fixing that relationship and going through it and feeling good and eating things that I knew would fuel me and make me feel better. That going into this pregnancy, I've just continued to do that, and I, love making meals, and I love what I've been eating, and I love the cravings when they hit. And when they hit, I definitely just, do the cravings. Like if I'm craving fast food, it's okay. I allow myself to do that, and I've definitely had a different relationship this whole pregnancy with food. Like I just eat food without it meaning anything other than the fact that I am fueling my body and giving the baby what it needs, and that has been really, really nice. Something else that I've fully enjoyed is documenting my pregnancy with pictures. I have a baby journal that I write in, even creating, vlogs so far. I think I've only done like a few so far during this pregnancy. It just allows me to look back and appreciate my body even more, about all of the changes, like looking at the photos from when I first got pregnant to now, just like how my body has changed so much. It just makes me again appreciate and feel so blessed that I get to go through this journey, that my body is changing the way it needs to be changing to support this life that I'm creating. And it's just cool to look back on, especially the one that I have, my baby book, is like a journal. So I've been able to like journal out from week to week, like how I was feeling and what I was doing, and like celebrating my birthday or Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve, even Valentine's Day. It's like, it's so neat to go back and read through even the tough times. Like I've wrote about, the morning sickness and going through the tough moments and everything. It's so cool to look back over that. So if you haven't been doing that through your pregnancy, or you want something to do during your pregnancy to look back on, do pictures every week, do a journal, document. Even if you're not a vlogger, even if you don't share it, document your pregnancy for yourself so you can look back at videos and see how far you've come. Like for me, I fully enjoy sharing it with you guys, because that has been a way for me to just like open up and share about the pregnancy. But it's also something that I can go back, after a baby is born, look at the videos and be like, oh my gosh, look how I looked. Or in like the next month or so, we're going to be setting up the nursery, and it's to share it with you guys, but it's also for me to look back on and be like, oh my gosh, look at the things we were doing, and look at my body and just everything that goes into it. And it just makes me feel so happy that I've decided to do that. So truly document your journey, because you're gonna want something to look back on to be like, oh, you don't want to be sitting there one day and like, oh, I wish I would have took pictures, I wish I would have done videos, I wish I would have done this, and wish. Like, do it, because I am so happy I decided to, and I'm so excited to continue writing it in my journal and taking the pictures. And even afterwards, the company that I'm using has a book that you can get for after the baby's born to kind of document their life afterwards too, and I'm excited to get that. And they also have other things for like their school years that like this. I'll link the company. I can't think of what they are called. Oh, that's gonna drive me insane. They just went into my email and it's right there. It's called Write to Me. That's what the company is called. And they have so many different journals. They have journals for your 4th trimester, which is like considered postpartum. They have ones for that. They have ones for documenting after the baby's born. They have ones that you can document, I think it's like 21 years or 18 years that you document like every year for them. Again, the school ones, like I'm going to be buying these so I can fill all this out for our kids, because I want to go all out with our first one, and I know I'm going to have to continue to do that with the other ones. But I love it. I love that I'm able to look back on it. I love that I'm going to be able to hand it off to our children and say, like, this is for you to have, when they're older and they're, go off and have their own family, or, when they turn 18 or when they get old enough and I can sit down with them and we can look back through it together. Like, that just makes me so excited. So seriously do it, because it's going to be something that like you might kick yourself if you don't. And I know that I would have kicked myself if I didn't. And it just makes me so happy that I can look back at something and then I can share something with my kids. So definitely do that if you haven't. And the last thing that I can tell you is just to seek support when needed. Again, for me, like I said, my biggest support system is my family, my husband's family, and just my husband. Like, you're going to get overwhelmed at times and you're going to get emotional, and that's just all a part of pregnancy. So just having that support system and having someone that you can, contact and talk to about it is going to help you out so much. Even if you have to go to therapy, talk to a therapist about it, or if you have a therapist and you're talking to them about your pregnancy, I think that can help so much. Like, I know for me that when I get very overwhelmed, just talking to my husband about it, letting the emotions flow and just having him be there to support me has been so great. Again, being able to reach out to my sister and my sister-in-law and talking to them about, feeling certain ways and everything, and just like having their point of view about kind of like what they went through, but then them just saying like, I'm here for you if you need to talk about anything, just reach out, has been great. Because you're going to have those moments, but when you have those people in your life that are there to support you, it just makes you feel so much better, and it makes you feel like you have a safe place and you have a person to talk to. And I think just for me, that has been beautiful, and it makes me feel so good because, again, you just have to remind yourself that your body is doing something so incredible, and you have to give yourself grace, and you have to celebrate every beautiful chapter. Like, I can even look back and say to myself, man, was that first trimester so hard, but I got through it. And even in those moments during the first trimester where I'm like, this is how it's going to be the whole time and I'm never going to get over this, but just being able to look back on that milestone just makes me smile, and it makes me feel so good because it's like, yeah, that was really hard, but look where I am today. I'm feeling so much better. I'm in such a better place. Yeah, I'm dealing with sciatica pain, but other than that, I feel so great, and I'm so happy that I had that experience. And there has been so many times where even my mom has told me, or my sister-in-law has told me, like, not every pregnancy is the same. Like, this one might be really rough, but your next one could be good. So you just kind of have to go with the flow of things, and it's sometimes really hard, and you just have to stay positive as you can be. But you're gonna get through it. And I just I would remind myself during those hard moments that, like, I am growing a child, and in whatever amount of months it was, I'm like, in this amount of months, I'm going to have a baby in my arms. And I'm going to feel so grateful that I went through all of this to birth this child. And even now going, I am 23 weeks pregnant. So I know I'm just like, I've had moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, in 3 months and like a couple weeks, I will be having a child. And thinking about that, I'm just like, I'm so grateful, and I'm so blessed to be where I'm at right now. And I'm so blessed, even during those hard moments, to have gone through them, because I have gone through all of this, even those tough times, to know that in the middle of June, I'm going to have a little baby in my arms, and I'm going to feel so grateful that I went through what I went through to have this child. And I think sometimes it can be really hard if you're having a really hard pregnancy, but just remind yourself what the outcome is. The outcome is having a little baby in your arms that is looking up at you, that didn't even know that you went through all that, but you went through all of that to be that child's mother, and that just warms my heart so much. It makes me feel so good. So I just wanted to sit down and share kind of what I've been doing for myself. Again, maybe something that I said will help you too, because pregnancy is challenging, and sometimes, again, it's really hard, but I think if we put certain steps into place and we just work on the fact that we are embracing self-love and compassion and trying to stay positive however we need to stay positive, and just taking care of ourselves, mentally and physically, it can be a beautiful journey as long as you want it to be. And I think definitely being positive and feeling positive is definitely better than feeling like crap all the time and being negative, or being surrounded by negative people. Like, again, surround yourself with people who love you, who support you, who uplift you, and allow yourself to have those bad days, but also allow yourself to have those good days, and be happy and grateful and blessed that, you know, you're allowed to carry this child. And just seriously keep thinking on those really hard days, just remind yourself, like, on this date, I'm gonna have a little baby in my arms, and I'm gonna be so excited for that next chapter. So this is just a chapter, you know, that I have to go through, that I'm excited to go through, and I'm excited to go through this journey because I want to be a mom so bad. And when you want to be a mom and you want to be a parent, you will do what it takes to be a parent. So for me, it's like, I know that I've gone through some hard times, but I am grateful to go through them because I'm excited to be a parent, and I'm excited for that next chapter. And I can't wait to meet our baby in June, and that just warms my heart. So this is kind of a long vlog, I think around like 40 minutes now, but I thought it was just important to talk to you guys about it, and I'm glad to share my experience with you guys. And like I said, I will continue to share it with you guys. I'm excited to share putting the nursery together. I'm excited to share the baby shower. I'm excited to share it all. And I'm also excited to be able to look back on it one day, and one day show our future children and be able to show them, like, this is all the stuff I was able to share and, you know, put together and talk about. And that just makes me so excited. So thanks for letting me chat with you guys today. I hope that if you are going through pregnancy, your pregnancy is going well. If you're someone who is trying and struggling, trust me, I have been there. I struggled to get pregnant, and we tried for a year with no luck, and it was hard, and it's emotional. And I am definitely here for you if you want to reach out and talk about it, because I've been there. I know what it's like. And just keep your head up and keep trying, because one day you're going to be gifted that positive pregnancy test, and you're going to go through your pregnancy and you're going to be gifted a beautiful child. And I think that, you know, even through those hard times, even through the struggle of getting pregnant, like, try to just keep very positive, even though it can be really hard to do. Like, I went through it and it was really hard, but just keep going. It's going to happen for you when it needs to happen. And one day you're going to have a beautiful child, and your life is just going to turn into this beautiful thing. So thanks for letting me chat with you guys today, and I will talk to you guys again real